Welcome to Lawson Hayes Realty, where finding your dream home is our passion. From charming starter homes to luxurious estates, we're your trusted partner in every step of your journey. With unparalleled marketing expertise, personalized service, and a commitment to excellence, we don't just sell homes, we build futures. Lawson Hayes Realty, making dreams a reality, one home at a time.
Hi, if you've never seen me before, my name is Adley, and today I'd like to welcome you to our channel. I'm with Lawson Hayes Realty, and we are a real estate brokerage firm in the states of Nevada, California, and Georgia. So I'd like to welcome you to our channel. What we do is in addition to selling homes, we represent buyers and sellers, investors, etc. But we bring you on our in the content and our podcast, real estate tips for buyers, sellers, and investors. If you're a first-time home buyer, if you're buying luxury homes, which we specialize in that, we have some content on YouTube where we're showing properties and working with luxury properties as well as your smallest starter home. So we do it all. So, but today, what I'd like to talk to you about, and I developed a 12-month plan, and it's a playbook / game plan. If you follow the game plan in the playbook and you want to buy a home, and in 12 months, you'll be in that home. Okay. It's a structured plan, step by step, what you need to do, including how to get your down payment, working on your credit, working with the lender to get you pre-approved, and then going through the home shopping process by identifying a person and so forth. You follow these steps, 12 months, you'll be at home. And see, here's the thing, 12 months go by so fast, so fast. So don't underestimate the time frame. You think, oh, we'll start in 3 months, we start. No, take a 12-month run up and get yourself ready, and you'll be ready. And you'll be ready to do it. And so that's what we do. So we're going to go through that process and those steps. And if you want me to send you a PowerPoint or a PowerPoint deck and you need it, if you put in the comments, if you put where we can send it to, and we'll have it sent out to you. Or if you'd like it, you can email us at info@LawsonHayesRealty.com. Okay, so that's info@LawsonHayesRealty.com. Okay, again, my name is Adley Hayes, and I'm the proprietor of Lawson Hayes Realty and founder. So we're going to move into our PowerPoint so you can check that out. Okay, so as we discussed, and we were discussing a 12-month plan. And as you can see on your screen here, this is a 12-month plan, and it's a home buying playbook. Okay. And it's a playbook that will give you step-by-step instructions from day one of the first month through 12 months, that by following this and adhering to it, you'll be ready to buy your home and purchase your home in 12 months. Okay. So the first thing here is planning. So there's approximately 8 months of planning, and from pulling your credit report, viewing your credit report, and addressing any issues there that you may need to do that, working with a lender or a bank to get you pre-qualified to purchase a home, and going through those steps. And you want to have all those things done to be prepared. The next area is shopping, and that's home shopping, where you will have a 3-month period to shop for home. That's 90 days. Okay. And it's good to take at least that time so you can take your time and see the available properties that are on the market. You can identify the community that you want to live in, how far it is from your job. Do you want to live, how far you want to live from your job? You can investigate the schools, how good the schools are, and all those things that are really important to you so that you can create the type of lifestyle that you want that's good for you. And then finally, there's a closing period, and that's 30 days, which is 1 month. And that is the 12th month of the planning, shopping, and then the closing. At that point, you're closing and you're ready to move into your home. Okay. Your 12-month playbook. Your playbook for buying a home acts as a structured guide outlining every essential step and key decisions you'll need to make throughout the home buying process. Okay. So your playbook for buying a home acts as a structured guide. Following this playbook can help you eliminate stress, anxiety. You'll be prepared when you're talking with other professionals, whether you're talking to the lender at the bank that you're working with, whether you're talking with a real estate agent, whoever you're communicating with, an escrow person, you'll understand a lot of the language that they're talking to you about so that you'll be prepared. Okay. So next. So month number one, let's get started. So month number one, and what I covered in this is month 1 through 2, first month and the second month. During this period, you're going to have preparation and financial assessment. Okay. And it identifies categorically what each one of these will do. Okay. The first one is starting out, you will review your credit score, and address any issues. Okay. So when you look at this, you're looking to see, do you have any late payments? Do you have any collection accounts? By addressing these things right up front, you can get those things paid out. You might see something on your credit that you didn't realize that was a late payment or collection, so you can address them. You can get on the phone, call the individuals, work something out, and you'll find that often many of these collection companies or whatever will work with you. Number two, you want to determine your budget and ideal price range. Okay, so understanding how much you make, you want to find that somewhere between 28 and 30% of your gross income. You take your gross income, if it's just you, a single person, or husband and wife, or however many, you total that up gross, and 28 to 30% of that should be the allowable that you use to make a house payment. Also, when you speak with your lender and your loan officer, they will help you understand that. Number three, you can start saving for a down payment and closing costs and any emergency funds, like you'd like to have a little stash, a little extra money put away in the event for emergencies and so forth. So, and saving for your down payment, let's take a home for $500,000, for instance. There are programs where if you can purchase a home on FHA, the down payment is only 3.5%. Okay, so that's 500,000 times 3.5%. And what's the easy math? 3 times 5 is 15. That's 17,500 down payment. That's not unreasonable that you can't save that amount of money in a 12-month period. It's not unreasonable that you can figure out a plan and have $17,500 for a 3.5% down payment on a $500,000 home. Okay. Or if it's $600,000 and you go on FHA, FHA is a great mortgage program and it only requires 3.5% down. Of course, if you're doing a VA loan is 0% down. And if you're doing a conventional loans, you can either do 3% down, first time home buyer, 5% down, 10%. Your lender will let you know these things. So what I'm saying, by having a 12-month period, you can be ready to buy your home in 12 months. Okay. The next thing, get pre-qualified for a mortgage to understand your borrowing power. Okay. Your bank, your lender will tell you that, hey, you qualify for $600,000. You qualify for $500,000. Now you know your buying power. Okay. You know your buying power. You know that you can feel good about what you're going to do. You walk into a home and the price is 500,000 or 600, whatever you qualified for, might be $1 million. You know that you can purchase that home because your lender will give you a pre-qualification letter or pre-approval letter that says that you are pre-qualified, pre-approved for this loan amount. Okay. Next, um, research the loan options, FHA, VA, conventional, and I kind of touched on those, okay? And when you research those, you'll be able to talk with your lender, to the bank, and just call and bug the heck out of them to get the question, and you can keep asking them until you fully understand how the down payment works and what's required and so forth. So they want you to ask them, they want you to bug them, because they want to help you. Okay. Last one on this. Minimize new debt and avoid major purchases. So that means basically if you have credit cards and you have maybe $1,000 in credit and you can pay that off. You might have an auto loan that you owe 2,500 to $3,000. The 12-month period gives you time to pay that off, especially when you speak to your lender and the lender says, well, your credit is good, but your debt ratio is a little high. Can you pay off this credit card? Can you pay off this auto loan? It gives you time to do that. Okay, you feel me? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, good. Next. Now we're in month 3 through 4, and this is the home search strategy. Okay, so in months 3 through 4, now that you've finished months 1 through 2, here you're going to explore the preferred neighborhoods. Okay, you can start driving around on Sundays. I used to always enjoy driving around on Sundays because Sundays, after you go to brunch, you go to dinner, you might go to church. Uh, uh, it's a great time to drive by open houses and you can park, pull up, and you can explore different neighborhoods and communities that you may want to live in. And so that's a good time to do that. Next, you can consider you can consider commute times in schools, crime rates, and amenities. Okay, all those things are really self-explanatory. The commute time, you can identify a neighborhood that you think might want to live in, and then determine how far that is from where you work at. Okay. You can drive from where that neighborhood is to your job back and forth and get an idea of the time that it's going to take you to go back and forth, especially if you have to pick up kids and all those things. You can research the schools in the community. You can get a head start on that because, yes, I know you want your children to go to the best schools and good schools and safe schools. Okay. So that's pretty self-explanatory. So next, decide on if you want to live in an urban community or suburban community or rural setting. I always have trouble saying rural setting. So, but you can decide. You can make that decision. Today, a lot of depends on the demographic, but because there are so many things and there's so many communities, urban living is a lifestyle because what the urban living, they're close to shops, close to Starbucks, and certain age groups are people like to meet up there. So they want to be close and in the city. And other folks would like to live in suburban and drive out, live 45 minutes an hour away from certain areas. So it gives you time to do that type of research. Okay. Next, you can begin real estate agent search. You want to find a person like myself who's an expert in the markets and communities, and they take the time to know the communities in the areas, and they know how to negotiate. That's really important when you work with someone that they know how to negotiate and write up competitive offers and inform you and keep you informed on those things. But during this period, months 3 and 4, it gives you time to identify a good agent or a real estate agent, someone who can represent you, and that's really important. Finally, on this, look for experience. Look for experience. Find reviews on the individual, and make certain that they have local knowledge in the area that you want to be in. Okay, that they have local knowledge. Okay, so it's important that they have that type of information. Okay, months 5 through 6, pre-approval and home search. Okay, so in month 5 and 6, you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage. Okay, that's working with your bank, working with your lender, and you've given them your income. W-2s, pay stubs. They've pulled your credit. They did a calculation, and now they can determine that you are pre-approved for a mortgage of 500,000, of 600,000, of 400,000, 2.5 million, whichever it is. You're going to need that pre-approval letter because when you write up an offer to submit to the other agent who's representing the seller, the other agent is going to want you to submit your offer with a letter of pre-approval and proof of funds that you have the required amount that will cover your down payment and your closing costs. Okay. They want proof. They want to see that you are a qualified buyer and that you can perform. Okay. Next. Now you want to refine your home search criteria with your agent. Okay. You started maybe in a large area, in a large community, and now you want to kind of drill down and kind of start to pinpoint this area right here. This is what I'm interested in. This is where I'd like to live. This is my dream home. This is where my wife and or my significant other we want to live, and this is the community we like it. Okay. After you refine the home search and the criteria that with your agent, now you can start touring the homes and going to showings and open houses. And you can start looking and kicking the tires and understanding, hey, this is where we want to be. Okay. Next, you can start comparing homes based on the features and the pricing. Because at first you might think that 500,000 or $800,000 you can buy all of this, but then reality sets in and you'd be like, wow, even for $800,000, we can only get this. So now you can start looking at those features and the amenities that you get. Maybe you thought you can get a pool in the backyard. Now you realize, well, we won't be able to get a pool, but we still like this home. So these are the things you can start assessing and making certain that you understand what's available. Finally, on here in month 5 through 6, you want to monitor new listings that are coming on the market and the market shifts. So like what we do here at Lawson Hayes Realty, we have alerts set up for you that comes directly to your emails. Initially, we'll start sending you listings that are on the market. But every time a new listing comes on the market in the area that you're interested in, it immediately comes to you. So you know by checking your email each day that a new listing came in the market because we have it filtered to where it comes to you. In addition, if a property was in the market for $600,000 and the price dropped and went from $600,000 to $595, you get an alert to let you know that this house was on the market for 600. Now it's dropped, and vice versa. The house was on the market for 600, and maybe for some reason it went up. Okay, so your agent or the firm that you're working with should certainly be able to filter those things for you, where you're constantly one of the first persons that know when there's a price change or a new listing has come on the market, because you may have been waiting for a house in that neighborhood, in that community, and you were saying, wow, if a house in this neighborhood came on the market for sale, I'd like to be the first one to get an opportunity at it. Well, that's why you need to get that alert right away. Okay. Finally, here in month 5 through 6, you're monitoring the new listings and the market shifts. Did we just cover that? Okay, good. So months 7 through 8, you found the property. Okay. You found the property on the previous slide. Now, months 7 through 8, now you're making offers and you're going through the negotiation strategies. Okay. You found the 2 or 3 homes that you would be interested in. So you're making an offer on the first one. Maybe you didn't get that one. So now you're making the offer on the second one. So here we go. Months 7 through 8, you're going to narrow down your top choices and analyze the property values. Okay. So you might have had a list of about 8 properties that you were interested in. Now you're going to narrow them down to, hey, these are the 1 or 2 or 1, 2, 3 My top two. This is the one I really like to have. Can't get that, we'll go to this one. And now you're comparing them and you're looking at the different values. You can get this one for 750 and this one for 715. This is what you get. These are the amenities. Okay. Next, you're going to work with your agent to craft a competitive offer. The agents that sit down with you and the house is on the market for 700,000, and the agent should be able to determine, an experienced agent should be an expert, and that agent should be able to say, to understand that by having a conversation with the other agent, a house is on the market for 700,000 and maybe they're going to try to offer 675. Well, you want to be careful because maybe 675 won't go. And maybe because all the other properties are going for 700, the offer may be accepted at a higher amount. This is where it really becomes important that your agent that you're working with has really good negotiation skills, okay? And really understands what the market is and really can know how to communicate with the other side. That's really important. Making relationships with that agent that's representing the seller, that goes a long way. That's personally what I try to do. I'm going to make a relationship with that agent. Somehow I'm going to make a relationship with them. Okay. Next, um, and making an offer, your agent working with you, you want to negotiate the terms, you want to and negotiate the price, and any contingencies with the seller. Okay. All right. So you negotiating the terms. What are the terms? The terms could be the escrow period. The seller may want a 30-day escrow, or the seller may want a 60-day escrow, and you want a 30-day escrow. Or the seller may have a contingencies because he's waiting to sell his house so he can buy another house. So those are some of the terms. Negotiating the prices. The seller wants $700,000. You really only think that the comps and what you've been looking at, the comps are only supporting 675. And it kind of the term comes down to, do you really want the house? What are the contingencies? The contingencies are a home inspection. You want to be able to have your own personal home inspector, which costs about $300 to $500, which you will pay. And that home inspector will work for you, and he will go inspect the property. He will look at the roof, see if the roof is working, plumbing, electrical, water, pressure, foundation. Will look at the home, termites, and determine if there's any work that needs to be done. You know, not just normal wear and tear, but just, you know, really work that needs to be done. If the report determines that there is major work that needs to be done, then you can use it as a negotiating tool. You offered 700, but now because it comes back with repairs and perhaps it needs a roof and a roof is going to cost about $10,000. Well, maybe now you offer 685. Your agent will be able to tell you a lot more about that. What's next? Submit an earnest money deposit upon offer and acceptance. So when you get your offer accepted, okay, and now it's time to what we say open escrow. You got your offer accepted. So an earnest money deposit is usually somewhere between 1% and 3% of the sale price. So if you bought the home for and negotiated for $700,000, the earnest money deposit, 3% of 700 is 21,000. That's what you'll deposit and wire to escrow, to open escrow. You might write the offer up where the escrow deposit might be 1% of the sale price, and that would be $7,000. The seller's agent may counter and tell you, no, we don't, you got to put more than 1%. You got to put 3% or 5%. It's negotiable, okay? Counter offers. Be prepared to negotiate back and forth. You offered $700,000, but then your inspection found that it needed a roof. So you counted back and said 685. But the seller counted back and said, nope, not going to sell it to you for 685. Still going to be 700. So the counter offers is going back and forth. So be prepared for that. Okay. However, there's also this section here where you walk away, you know. There's a walk away point. Know your limit and be willing to walk away. Now, that's a conversation that you really have to have and know when you think that you've offered enough. It depends on how much I like something. If I like it and I know the value where I am or whatever, uh, it's not a deal breaker. Okay. I think a good deal, I think a good deal between a seller and a buyer is when both parties are mutually happy. Okay. I don't think there's like ever like, oh, I got it, I got a deal. Well, a deal is when the seller and the buyer is happy. Okay. You kind of get what you want, they get what they want. But you have to know what it is that you're looking for. And I'll just leave it at that. What's next? Contingencies include contingencies. Include contingencies for inspections and appraisals. Okay. So that and part of the offer, that's what your representative will make certain that they put that in there. That the offer is contingent upon the appraisal and the inspections. Okay. Then after those things come back, you can review those items, the appraisal and the inspection, and you can determine if you're going to adjust your offer that you initially made or if you're going to leave your offer that way. Okay. Finally, closing costs. You can negotiate closing costs and who pays for the closing costs. So when you're buying a home, what you need is down payment and closing costs. So if your down payment, I think I use a scenario, your down payment is $17,000, then you have closing costs. And those are closing costs like title, insurance, uh, other lender fees, the appraisal, and so forth. So you have a down payment of $17,000. And then you have closing costs, say maybe $8,000. You can ask the seller to pay all of the closing costs or half of the closing costs, but that comes down to your agent that you're working with, that they know how to write up that type of offer and they ask the seller to pay for some of the closing costs. Now, if I write an offer up for you for $700,000 and I'm asking the seller to, well, the seller wants $700,000, but I offer him 685 and I'm asking him to pay for my closing costs, he's probably not going to do that. So you just have to find where the sweet spot is. And because the seller doesn't want to pay for a closing cost, I don't think that's a deal breaker, you know. So just so understand that. Okay, good. So that's months 7 through 8. Months 9 through 10 is the closing process. You're in escrow, your offer is accepted, you've sent your earnest money deposit, you've negotiated all the things, you're fine with the home inspection that you did, the roof is fine, the appraisal came back good. The appraisal came in at $700,000, just like the seller was selling it for. And so now you're in the closing process. Okay. So, and this is at this part, you want to secure your final mortgage approval. Your bank, your lender, your loan officer that you're working with at this point in month 9 through 10, initially you had a pre-approval. Now you need final approval. And the final approval is because they've got all your W-2s and pay stubs, your income taxes, your credit report, and now they have the appraisal. And that's what they were waiting for. The appraisal usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. So now they have the appraisal because the loan is going to be based on the appraisal and the property. So they have that. So now you can get final loan approval. Next, review loan disclosures and finalize financing details. At this point, your lender, your loan officer is going to go over all the loan disclosures with you to make certain that everything is disclosed, how much you're paying, what you're paying for. Every item that you're paying for in your loan has to be detailed and disclosed to you what you're paying for, whether it was an appraisal, whether it was a credit report, whether it was an inspection, if you're paying points on the loan, the underwriting fee, all those things have to be disclosed to you. And it's laws that govern those things, okay? And I'm sure your bank and your lender will do a great job with doing that. Next is conduct an appraisal to confirm the property value. Well, the appraisal has been ordered. The lenders receive the appraisal. The appraisal, by the way, is something that you have to pay for, and that's going to be at least $500. And so the appraisal goes out, comes back, and the property came in at the asking price of $700,000 in this scenario, and so you're fine on that. Okay. Um, Next, address any necessary repairs or negotiations. Well, we kind of said, well, the roof needed some repairs, and you asked the seller if the seller would contribute half the cost to repair the roof. And in this scenario, let's say the seller said, okay, I'll credit you. The roof is going to cost $10,000. I'll credit you $10,000 for the repairs. Okay. He's not going to knock $10,000 off the asking price of 700. He's just going to credit you and give you $10,000 and he'll put that in escrow. Okay. So that $10,000 will be credited to you. And when the escrow closes, that escrow will give you $10,000 and you can have the roof fixed on your own. Okay. That's just a scenario. Finally here, prepare for closing by gathering all necessary documents. And so now you're preparing for closing. At this point, your bank, your lender, your loan officer that you're working with, they're going to last minute ask you for some updated documents. They're probably going to ask you for an updated pay stub. They're going to probably ask you for updated bank statements to make certain that your income has not changed during this process, to make certain that you still have the funds in your bank account and you haven't gone to Las Vegas and blew your money. So those things are important because they're also looking for that you have a certain amount of reserves left over after you close. So basically, after you give them the $17,000 for your down payment, and you had closing costs that was $7,000. So 17 and 7 is 25,000. So it's going to take you $25,000 to close. Well, your lender's also going to want to see that you got a few months of reserves to make your mortgage payment. Okay. So they don't want you to just use all your money. Now you have no money to make your first mortgage payment coming up. So they're going to look for reserves. And different lenders on different programs, they may look for 3 months reserves. They may look for 6 months reserves. So if your monthly payment is $4,000 a month, well, if your monthly payment is $5,000 a month, if they want to see 3 months reserve, that's 15 grand. So after you've paid your 25,000 for a down payment and closing, they still want to see 15 grand in reserves. Or if it's 6 months, that's 30,000 in reserves. Okay. So preparing for closing and gathering all your necessary documents. So those are documents at the end that they will ask for to see. Okay. Months 11 through 12, final steps and move in. Wow, you made it. You made it. This 12-month playbook is going to work phenomenal for you. So now your loan is approved. You have your closing date that's coming up, and now you can go through the property, which we call the final walkthrough. At the final walkthrough, you go into the property, and you're going to go there, and you're just going to go and you're going to inspect it and make certain that, for instance, the house is still standing there, that it hasn't burned down by a fire or it hasn't been flooded or destroyed. So that's basically what the final walkthrough is there. You're going to go through and make certain that from the last time you were there, that things are still pretty much in the same working order as it was. It hasn't been some disaster or someone's living on the property that shouldn't be there. The second one here is now you're ready to close on the home and transfer funds. So to close on the home, you've done the final walkthrough. So now you need to wire the additional down payment and your closing costs to escrow. Okay. So whatever that amount is, you had maybe $5,000 when you earnest money deposit, And the balance of that is gonna cost you 25 to close. So you had 5,000 in escrow. So now you need to wire maybe $20,000 in this scenario uh, to escrow. So from your bank, you wire the money to escrow, and now escrow has the funds and they're ready to close. And your loan closes. And after you get confirmation that your loan is closed and recorded, your real estate agent will pick up the keys and deliver the keys to you or meet you at your home at the new home with the new keys with a nice bottle of Pinot Noir or your favorite champagne, and you go in and you celebrate. Now you plan and you coordinate your move with your movers. You set up the utilities, transfer all the utilities, all your cable, your light, your water into your name. You get your security, ADT, or whoever you use for that, your Ring doorbell, and with a bottle of Pinot and a bottle of champagne, you celebrate. And that is, my friends, my dear, dear friends, that is your playbook. And I tell you, if you start this 12 months out, you'll be able to address all the things you need to address, and without the anxiety and all the hassles, you'll be able to have a pretty seamless close, and you'll be really, really happy and really, really pleased. Okay. So I just want to let you know that this, at the ending here, your home buying playbook is presented by Lawson Hayes Realty. And again, this playbook is structured. It's a structured guide to buying a home. It outlines every step and key decision, a 12-month plan that ensures you're well prepared, and it helps you achieve a successful home purchase in your desired 12-month time frame. I want to thank you for taking the time out. I hope that the things that I discussed resonated with you. And if there's something that I missed and I did say, if you can just leave me a comment and let me know in the comment section. And if it's something that we can bring to you to let you know, we have a plethora of ideas and tips that we want to bring you. So again, take a minute, like, subscribe, and follow us. And we want to thank you for hanging out with us. Okay, thanks. Bye. My name is Adlai Hayes, Lawson Hayes Realty. Thanks.
Lawson Hayes Realty, where luxury meets lifestyle.